Today we are going to be working on common denominators and why we should have a common denominator when adding or subtracting fractions. So I am going to discuss 3 definitions that we're going to be talking a lot about during this video, and that is, the first one is whole, and a whole is what you would have if you had 1 instead of a fraction. So that would be like 1 whole chocolate bar, 1 whole pie. And the next word is denominator, and the denominator is the number of equal pieces you cut the whole into. So how many pieces you cut the chocolate bar into, how many pieces you cut the pie into. And then it's also always the bottom number. So in these two, in this situation, the denominators would be 4 and 7. The third definition is numerator, and that is the number of those pieces you take. So the number of pieces the whole is cut into that you take out. So that's always the top number in a fraction, because you have the denominator, you cut the whole into 4 pieces, and you took 3 of those 4 pieces. So as you can guess, this is what we are going to be working on today, is we are going to be taking 3/4 and taking away 5/7 from that 3/4. So first what we should do is we should draw our picture. So going back, I have 2 chocolate bars. Jeez. Okay, so right here I have the denominator 4, which is the number of pieces you cut the whole into, and this would be the whole because it's what you would have if you had 1 instead of a fraction. So I'm going to cut that into 4 pieces. Okay. And like the numerator said, it's the number of those pieces that you take. So the numerator is 3, so I'm taking 3 of those pieces. Now you're taking away 5/7, so I'm going to draw that on the next. So I have 7 pieces, so and I am taking 5 pieces because the numerator is the number of those pieces you take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we have that picture all drawn out. So now we know we cannot take 5/7 from 3/4 because it just does not work. So we know that we need to find a common denominator. And in order to find a common denominator, we just have to multiply by the opposite denominator. So we are going to take, and whatever you do to the denominator, you must do to the numerator, right? So we are going to multiply 3/4 by 7. Which gives you 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. Minus, and then we are going to be taking 5/7 times 4, because that's a denominator, the opposite denominator. And so we have 4 times 5 is 20, and 7 times 4 is 28. So now they have the same denominator, so that can make us subtract. But with like what we did here, we are going to cut up our candy bar the same. So we multiplied 3/4 times 7, so we are going to cut this. We are going to cut this into 7. So because that'll give you 28 pieces. And now we would take the 5/7 and cut that into 4ths to give us the 28 pieces. So now they both have equal 28 pieces. So now we need to subtract. But wouldn't 21 minus 21 eighths, 21 over 28 minus 20 over 28 just give you 1 over 0? No, because at this point it would turn into an integer problem, because we still have the whole is still being cut into 28 pieces, but what we're trying to figure out is how many of those pieces we have left, right? So the numerator, what are we going to have left if we have 21 and we give 20 away? Because the whole is still going to be cut in, it was always still going to be cut into those 28 pieces, but the numerator can change because the amount someone takes out can vary. So really what it's basically saying is that we are doing 21 minus 20 over 28. And so 21 minus 20 is 1, and we have the denominator 28. So that's 1 over 28. Because now the whole would be, the chocolate bar, and the denominator is the 28 pieces we have. The 1 is the number of pieces, the numerator, the number of pieces we have left. So, like we had before, we had 3/4, which we drew over here, and we broke it up into the 7 pieces, or 28 pieces. We had to cut it 7 more times to get it to equal this, which we cut into the 4 pieces, and that's where we got our new denominator. And that is why changing a fraction to have a common denominator will allow you to be able to add and subtract.